everyone, we are from Group 6 and we are going to explain to you about this comic called The Treasure of the Mystic Forest.
Hello everyone, this is the first page of the story. Let's focus one by one on each panel. There are 3 panels, so let's start by the first one. The legend has been told for generations and it is being remembered by Raka while he is walking home. I have always believed this story. Now, let's focus on the narration box first. The legend has been told for generations. The sentence has been told uses present perfect passive. Why? Because the legend started in the past and still being told until now. So the focus is not on who told the legend, but the legend itself. That's why passive voice was used. And the present perfect shows that the action continues across many generations. And it is being remembered, the sentence is being remembered uses present continuous passive because this present continuous passive shows that Raka is remembering the legend at that or this exact moment, so the action is happening now, which is why continuous tense was used. And why is it passive? Because it focuses on what Raka was thinking, which is the legend, and not the action of Raka's, which is the one who's doing the thinking. And by Raka while he is walking home uses present continuous because it's described a background action, and Raka is walking while he is remembering the legend. So it shows 2 actions happening at the same time, which is while Raka is walking home, he was also thinking about the legend that has been told for generations. And on the bubble text, I have always believed this story uses present perfect because Raka started believing the story in the past and he is still believes it until now, which is why present perfect is used because it shows Raka's continuous beliefs from the past until the present. Now let's focus on the second panel. Let's focus on the narration box first. When he was a child, the tale had been told by the elders, repeated every night while he was listening carefully. I have been dreaming about this treasure. Now, if we focus on the narration box, when he was a child, the tale had been told by the elders. The sentence had been told uses past perfect passive because it shows that the elders told the tale before another past event. And passive was used because it focuses on the story or the legend instead of who told the legend, which is the elders. And past perfect shows earlier past time in Raka's childhood. And then repeated every night. This sentence uses past continuous passive because it shows the repeated action in the past and the elders kept repeating this legend every night. So continuous tense is used to show habit and the atmosphere of the story being repeated every single night on the past. And then while he was listening carefully, the sentence was listening carefully uses past continuous because Raka and the elders were doing actions at the same time. So when the elders told the story, Raka was also listening to the story. So it's 2 actions happening at the same time, which is why past continuous is used. And then on the dialogue, I have been dreaming about this treasure. Uses present perfect continuous because it shows that Raka's dream started in the past and still continuing. Now, it emphasizes a long and ongoing dream of Raka's, so not only just for one moment. Now, last but not least, the third panel. Let's do this. treasure has been described as magical and it is being searched by brave souls while Raka is growing older. One day I will find it. Now let's focus on the narration marks. The treasure has been described as magical. The sentence has been described indicates that the use of present perfect passive. Why? Because it shows that people described this treasure in the past and the description, which is magical, is still known till today. And why is it passive? Because the treasure is what we're being focused on and not who described the treasure. And then the second one, and it is being searched. Is being searched indicates the use of present continuous passive. Why? Because it shows that the treasure is still being searched until now, and the search status was still ongoing and unfinished, which creates suspense to the story. And then here, last but not least, by brave souls while Raka is growing older. The sentence is growing older indicates the use of present continuous because growing older is of course not instant, it's a gradual process. So this is why present continuous was used. So it's to show a passing while the search continues. One day I will find it. Here uses future simple, not like before, present simple and etc., but future simple. Why? Because it used to express Raka's determination and hope, so that Raka here in this scene promises to himself that he will find the treasure in the future. So the conclusion is on the first page of the story. The present, the perfect tenses here was used to connect past and present experience. Continuous tense is to show ongoing action and atmosphere, and the passive voice is to focus on the legend and the treasure instead of the people like the elder Rakas and these researchers. And these tenses helps this page feel more dramatic and connected to Raka's journey. Thank you.
Okay, so I will be explaining page 2. In panel 1, the present perfect and Raka has decided to enter the forest is used because the decision was made earlier but affects the present situation where Raka is entering the forest. The present continuous passive in the path is being covered by thick mist shows that the mist is covering the path right now, while present continuous in he is walking carefully describes Raka's current action. The present perfect passive in the forest has been feared for years explains that people started fearing the forest in the past and the fear continues until now. In panel 2, the past perfect passive in he had been warned by his parents shows that the warning happened before the journey began. The past continuous passive in strange sounds were being heard describes sounds that were happening at the time in the past, while past continues in he was preparing himself explains that Raka was in the middle of preparing for the journey. The present perfect continues in I have been waiting for this moment shows that Raka has started waiting in the past and continues to feel it until now. In panel 3, the present perfect passive and the trees have been shaken by the wind shows recent action with visible results in the present. The present continuous passive and shadows are being formed describes shadows that are forming in this moment. While present continuous in Raka is looking around nervously shows his current action. Finally, the present perfect and I have never been this close before describes Raka's life experience up to the present moment. Thank you.
Okay, next. In the first panel, tiny glowing fairy suddenly appears in front of Raka in the middle of a misty forest. Her magic light spread through the fog, making the scene look mysterious and beautiful. The narration uses present perfect has just appeared. which means the action happened recently and is still important now. While present continuous passive is used to describe how her light is being reflected by the mist around her. At the same time, the fairy is floating gently in the air, which is described using present continuous to show that the action is happening right now. The fairy then speaks to Raka and tells him, "You have been chosen." The sentence uses present perfect passive, which means someone has chosen Raka for an important purpose, although the person who chose him is not mentioned. This moment marks the beginning of Raka's mysterious journey. And next, okay, next, in the panel one, in the second panel, Raka feels very shocked and confused after seeing the fairy. The narration explains that Raka had been surprised by her arrival, which is past perfect passive to describe something that happened before the current moment in the story. It emphasizes that the surprise occurred immediately after the fairy appeared. While Raka trying to understand what is happening, the fairy continues watching him. The sentence, "He was being watched by her," used SMAN continuous passive, showing that the action of watching was happening over a period of time in the past. At the same moment, Raka is attempting to speak, which is described with past continuous. Feeling confused and unsure whether the situation is real, Raka asks, "Have I been dreaming?" The sentence uses present perfect continuous, suggesting that he wonders if he has been dreaming for some time and only now begins to question reality. In the third panel, or the last panel, the fairy begins to explain Raka's purpose. The narration says that the fairy has been sent to guide him, which is present perfect passive. This indicates that someone or something has sent the fairy to help Raka on his journey, but the sender is not revealed yet. Next, the fairy starts giving him a chance. The narration explains that the first riddle is being explained, which is present continuous passive because the action is happening at that moment. While the fairy speaks, Raka is listening carefully, shown with the present continuous, indicating that he is paying close attention to every word. Finally, the fairy says, "The answer has been hidden within your heart." The sentence uses present perfect passive, meaning the answer has already been placed inside Raka's heart for a long time, and he must discover it himself. This suggests that the solution to the riddle is connected to his feelings, beliefs, or inner wisdom.
Okay, and the first I will explain in the panel 1. The hidden cave has been discovered. This is present perfect passive because the cave was discovered in the past. Next, the ancient door is being opened. This is present continuous passive because the door was open at the time. Next, Raka is holding his breath. This is present continuous because it shows the action that is happening. Last panel 1, this place has been waiting for me. This is present perfect continuous because it shows something that has been going on for a long time and is still going on now. And next, panel 2, the treasure had been protected for centuries. This is past perfect passive because the protection of wealth occurred before the main event in the past, namely before Raka came. And next, the golden chest was being illuminated by magic. This is past continuous passive because the chest was being illuminated by magic at the time in the past. Next, he was stepping forward. This is past continuous because he was moving forward at the time. And last panel 2, the final step has been taken. This is present perfect passive because the final step is done and the results are important now. And the last panel, Raka has finally found the treasure. This is present perfect because the act of finding the treasure has already been complete and the results are still relevant now. And next, the legend is being fulfilled. This is present continuous passive because the legend is being fulfilled at the moment. And the last panel, the story has come true. This is present perfect because the story has already become a reality.
Hello everyone, my name is Nadine Azrain Vitar, and now I want to show my comic part. Okay, the first is explanation. The first riddle was solved by Raka. For the text has been jika merujuk pada masa lalu yang sudah tuntas. So explains example he had been. For explanation, in the second panel, the author used past perfect and continuous. We use past tense to describe even that happened before our current moment in the story. In the story, it provides the backstory or the challenge Raka already overcome to reach the cave. Okay, the second comic is the sentence uses the past perfect tense. He had been tested by illusion. This tense explains an action that happened earlier before another past event. The time expression before he reached the cave indicated that the test occurred earlier in his journey. While he was following the fiery, he was avoiding traps along the way. This past use the past continuous tense was following, were being avoided to describe action that were happening during the journey and give it background information about the situation and the challenge he faced. The fiery statement used the present perfect tense have a grow because it shows a chance that started in the past and continues until now. The last comic in the scene, the story describes Raka when Raka finally left the final gate. The sentence in the final gate has been guarded by ancient power. Use the present perfect passive tense. This tense explain that the past and continues until now. This past. The next past it is being opened slowly while Raka is taking the next part. It being opened slowly while Raka is taking a deep breath. Use the present continuous passive tense. It's being opened and continuous tense. It's talking, and then the character condition show that Raka feels nervous but determined. This is why he says, "I have come to for the stop now." The sentence use the present perfect tense.